Can I ask you something real quick? Are you tired? Are you really tired? Deep down, you're doing everything, you're building, you're showing up, but underneath all of these things, it just feels like there's something that is off. That you're building something that looks good on paper, but it doesn't feel good in your body. If that is you, then I want you to stay right here because in today's video, I'm going to tell you what your feminine era actually is and why stepping into it might be one of the most strategic things you will do for your life, your business, and your money. First of all, let's clear something up because I know some of you have heard about the word feminine era and what you immediately thought was what? Oh no, she want me to sit pretty and cross my leg on the beach, or she want me to sit down and wait for some man to be able to save her, and or you want me to just sit down and manifest some money without having to do anything. No, that's not what we're talking about right here. Your feminine era is not you being passive. Your feminine era is not you sitting down and crossing your leg and hoping that cherries fall from heaven. That's not you being feminine. It's not even absolutely you stopping your ambition. It's not about you being too soft that makes you become so powerless as a woman. And it's definitely not about you shrinking yourself just to be able to make others comfortable. What your feminine era is completely different. And honestly, it's way more powerful. So let's go into what does it actually mean to be a feminine woman? What does it actually mean for you to step into your feminine era? Because trust me, ladies, once you step into this, you begin to see dramatic changes in your life and in your business, in your finances. So let's talk about feminine energy. So you have the masculine and the feminine energy. So let me use a very good example of a man and a woman. When a man is interested in a woman, he goes after her and chase her, right? And what does she do? She receives that, and if she wants to go ahead with the man, she's willing to receive that. Now, feminine energy is just your ability to be able to receive. I'm not saying that when I talk about receiving, most people always mean that you become passive, you cross your two legs and wait for things to fall on your laps. No. Feminine energy and your feminine era is you positioning yourself to be able to be that person that can be able to receive. So if you do not position yourself to be able to be that person that can be able to receive, you are not in your feminine energy. So it's not you sitting down and crossing your leg and waiting for somebody to come save you, or waiting for a man to come save you, or waiting for something to just fall on your laps like a bag of cherry. It is you positioning yourself to be able to receive. Feminine energy attracts. It is you positioning yourself to be able to attract. So to be able to create from a place of alignment instead of desperation. So here is the thing. As a man, most men, masculine energy to say is to chase, is to hunt. The feminine energy, on the other hand, is completely different. Because as a feminine woman, your own is to create from a path of alignment. To be able to position yourself, to be able to be seen, to be able to receive and to be able to attract. But the truth is that in the kind of world that we live in, most women, especially high achieving women, have been conditioned to run entirely on a masculine energy, including me. So most times we always want to be on the run, be on the hunting. And for someone like me, it has hurt me countless number of times because most times when I discover that I keep chasing something, I become drained out and I do not get that thing, or I make a very silly mistake that end up costing me a whole lot. So as a woman, you have to understand that you have been conditioned to be able to be a receiver. So the same thing that happened during reproduction, the woman receives the seed from the man. And so when you receive that seed, it is now in your ability, your feminine energy has what I call the cultivating ability, to transformative ability to be able to transform that seed into what? A baby or anything. So when I talk about feminine energy, it's not some you crossing your leg and just waiting for things to fall. No, you have a whole lot of work to do. There's nothing wrong with you taking action, but how you do it, your approach to it matters a lot. So when the feminine energy, when the feminine woman to say receives, you receive and then you cultivate. So the cultivating is where the work actually lies. It's just like a woman receiving a seed from the man, and then she has a womb. Every woman has a womb. Beyond just a physical womb, you have a spiritual womb. You have a womb inside of you, the ability to be able to transform things. And if you do not realize that power that you have as a woman, you will keep limiting yourself. You have the ability to be able to transform something from nothing. You have the ability to be able to turn raw materials into something beautiful. That's who a feminine woman is. A feminine woman is not a lazy woman. A feminine woman is not someone who is powerless. A feminine woman is not somebody who just sit back and do nothing. But because of the society that we've lived in today, we have been conditioned to do like men, to chase and to hunt, and all you're just doing is taking action blindly. You might be hitting your income figures, but you most times at the end of the day, you are drained out. So it's not about you just working and working. No, coming from the place whereby you are cultivating. The feminine woman is a woman who cultivates. It's a woman who takes something and cultivates it. She positions herself to be seen, to receive, to attract. That positioning is where you have to be able to know your worth. So you're not powerless as a feminine woman. You have to be able to know your worth. You have to be able to go from, I have to end this, I need to end this, to I am this. That's who a feminine woman is. So she's not trying to force things. She knows she is. Okay. And you see, when you make that shift, it changes your business, it changes your money, and it changes your entire life. So I'm going to go into what it looks like in real life. You actually becoming and stepping into your feminine identity as a woman. A very good example. Let's say you're a high class woman and probably you're working on building your career. All right. And usually we all know sometimes that in the workplace, it can be a very tough political thing whereby you have to fight, or especially when you get to the top executive positions. And so how do I begin to do that when in the workplace, if you don't fight, you don't win? A feminine woman is a woman that understands the power of influence. You position yourself to be able to, and when I mean attractive, I'm not talking about maybe you dressing seductively. A woman who knows who she is carries influence. Influence is not loud. Influence is silent. That's why sometimes when you begin to make too much noise as a woman, it doesn't speak well of you, to be honest. Because sometimes influence is intuitive. You position yourself to be seen, position yourself to be able to cultivate. And if that environment is not making you become the woman you're meant to be, then your ability to be able to spot that and start making active move. This company, they are pressuring me too much. This is it. How can I be able to make active move to an environment that will make me thrive and grow? That is you being in your feminine state. You're doing a business and you're just working. One of my agency company, we're trying to move into sales training for other business, other companies and all of that stuff. And I remember telling my partner, I said, at some point I'm going to need to, when we need to hire, I'm not going to have to prove that I can do this by trying to do everything on my own. No, I'm going to delegate so I can be able to position myself to cultivate this very well. That is you being in your feminine energy, not always trying to prove I can be able to do this. I can carry multiple things at the same time. No, you're a woman and your job is to cultivate. Your job is to position yourself and to become intuitive. And things like this can mean something like making financial decisions from a place of clarity and strategy, not from a place of fear and scarcity. It also means you are feeling your ability to be able to invest in yourself without having to feel guilty. Your ability to be able to make you become a better woman. When you're doing all of those things, what are you doing? You're actually positioning yourself to be found. You're positioning yourself to cultivate. You're positioning yourself and you're building your intuition. So you see that feminine energy is not crossing your two legs and saying what will be, Quisera, what will be. That's not what a feminine woman is. If not for anything, she actually works hard, but she does it differently from the masculine energy. For your finances, it means making decisions from a place of abundance and not from fear and scarcity. Your ability to be able to receive help, money, without always justifying it. I'll be honest, I actually struggled with this. Oh Lord. I struggled with the ability to be able to receive, because for the longest time, I was this very independent woman, always wanted to give. And so when I met someone who was willing to give to me, I struggled with receiving. And that is the beauty of being a feminine woman. Many of us, especially those of us that happen to take care of people at a very young age, had to grow up really fast, you become very independent and you discover that you find it very difficult to be able to receive. That's not what the feminine energy is. In your business, it means that you are building offers, products, and services that doesn't just feel good, that doesn't just look good on paper, but also feels aligned with your soul. So you want to build a business that is aligned with what the market wants and also aligned with your soul. So many people, so many women, they're building businesses that is good as long as it makes them money. They do not care whether it's aligned with what God has called them to do. For the longest time, when I was running my digital marketing company, I had people that I was training. And as well as some persons will get results and other people will not get results. And for a long time, I was always feeling like, am I a bad coach? Until much later, I discovered that it's not about you. Most times, people go into businesses for the wrong reason. Because of this person did it and they made X amount of money, then I want to go ahead and do it. Chances are sometimes that you end up failing, especially if it's not aligned with what you are called to do. If it's not aligned with your soul, your spirit and your body would fight that business. And so you being in your feminine energy means that you create offers that solve problems for people and that also feel aligned with your soul. So the two has to be able to match. Now, it also means signing clients that are not toxic. I'll be honest, I struggle with it a lot. Because I needed money really fast, I signed all manner of clients that became like a bone in my neck. In fact, till tomorrow, I still haven't even collected some funds, some fees that supposedly from signed clients. So you see, when you're acting from a place of desperation, what you get usually is a force, is a pushback. That's what usually you're going to get. So also sometimes it means you delegating. I told my business partner, I said, look, I will not be this woman that will try to do everything on the same time just to prove I'm a strong superwoman. I'm going to delegate, I'm going to hire. So it means you working fewer days, but much more productive days. Let me tell you the truth as a woman. All your days are not going to be the same thing. You see, a man can wake up in the morning and work 16 hours a day, Monday to Friday, throughout. But for you, you don't. Because why? You have circles. There are days that just the same way you have the weather, summer, winter, fall, it goes round about, and spring. There are days when your mood is, you're in the winter period, you don't want to do anything. There are days when you're in your summer, you are hot, you're waiting to do something. And so what I usually tell women is that sometimes build your business around your circles. What I mean by your circles, I don't mean your menstrual circle, but at those moments when you know that you're at your peak, go ahead and get work done at that particular moment. Another form of you being in your feminine energy is your ability to be able to rest without feeling guilty. How many of us find it very difficult to rest? No, Joy, if I don't work, I need to get this double shift, multiple shift, and at the end of the day, at what expense? You're drained out, you're fagged out. At what expense? When last have you truly rested? Being in your feminine energy means your ability to be able to say no without explanation. People pleasers in the house say, how many times have you said yes because you just want to be liked? Because you wanted that, you wanted your boss to like you, you wanted that thing, you just had to say yes. No. Feminine energy means that you have strict boundaries and that you can be able to enforce those boundaries and say yes when you mean it and say no when you actually mean it. Being in your feminine energy means your ability to be able to receive help without shrinking. I said earlier, I struggled with this a long time because I've been someone I've been independent. So for me to receive help was very hard. Today, my partner got me flowers. Why are you getting me flowers for? What did I do? So it can be very difficult to be able to receive help without shrinking. So when you're in your feminine energy, you are not. You receive it. Someone gives you a compliment. Thank you. Stop explaining somebody gives you a compliment. You look beautiful today. Thank you. Stop saying, are you sure? On my face. You're lying to me. Don't do that, girls. Okay? And now, being your feminine energy does not stop you from working hard. If not for anything, it stops you from working against you. So it's not nobody saying, if not for anything, you're going to work really hard. If you don't work hard, you're going to starve, but you are working from a place of cultivating, from a place of building, from positioning yourself to be able to receive, to be able to attract what you want. So there's a difference between just walking blindly and walking from a place of intuition and walking from a place of cultivating the life that you truly want. So here is the thing that nobody's going to tell you. The wealthy feminine woman is not the one who is the most stressed in the room. Ladies, it's time you calm down. Stop trying to prove being a superwoman by trying to work super hard. The wealthy feminine woman is not the woman who is the most stressed in the room. It's the woman who is much more aligned. So it's beyond just you trying to do everything at the same time. It's beyond you trying to design your life in a way that it can be able to attract what you want. It's not just being rich in your bank account, but rich in your life, that you have peace of mind. You are building not from a place of hustle, but from a place of peace. And when I talk about this, I'm not saying you should not work. I'm not saying you're not going to work long hours, but you're doing this from a different point of view. It's an identity shift. It's an identity shift, and it's a moment whereby you are not trying to prove anything. You're building from a place of peace. You are resting where you need to rest. You are saying no when you need to say no, and you know that you are designing something. And so by the time you do this, right, you discover that you've taken that thing that doesn't look like it was nothing, and you've transformed it into this massive thing. How did you do it? Not with force, but with you being aligned in your feminine energy. So if you have been hustling and it's working, but doesn't feel like freedom yet, your feminine era is calling you. And your feminine era is not saying you should not work. Your feminine era is just saying, let's just redesign this in another way. And I'm going to keep showing you how to be able to do that. So please don't forget to follow, like this video, and share this video with as many persons as possible. So I want you to let me know in the comment section, what does your feminine era feel like to you? Do you feel like you're in your feminine era, or do you feel like you are hustling like a man and it's literally choking life from you? I want to know. I'll see you guys in my next video. For now, bye.